Please rise. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call roll.
Councilmember Erby? Here. Councilmember Page?
Here.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Here.
Councilmember Gray? Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
Councilmember Tracus?
Present.
Councilmember Harder?
Here.
Mr. Vice Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
I move for approval of the journal of the meeting of December 20th, 2016.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Journal's approved.
I move to suspend the rules for the election of the County Council Chair and Vice Chair for 2017.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Rules are suspended. Floor is open for nominations for Council Chair.
I nominate Sam Page for Chair of the County Council for 2017.
Second.
All those in favor of allowing me to be nominated? No pressure.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And at this time, I move to close the nominations for Chair.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Nominations are closed. Hearing no other nominations, all those in favor of electing me, Sam Page, to the position of chair. I wonder if this is the first time this has ever happened.
Yeah.
Please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations are in order, I guess. Thank you.
Careful what you wish.
Motion carries. Thank you. Yes, thank you for that, too. Are there nominations for vice chair?
I move for nomination of Councilwoman Hazel Irby as vice chair.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Councilmember Hazel Irby has been nominated for vice chair of the County Council for 2017.
I move we close the nominations for vice chair.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Nominations closed. Hearing no other nominations, all those in favor of electing Councilmember Hazel Irby to the position of Council Vice Chair for 2017, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Councilmember Irby, congratulations. You're elected Vice Chair. Thank you. Look forward to working with you. Okay, next.
Mr. Chair, we have no bid openings this evening, so we'll move to communications. Under communications, there are no tax compromises or zoning matters, so we'll move to road and bridge matters. Under road and bridge matters, item number 1, 6th District.
I move to receive file plans, specifications, and detailed estimate of cost be approved by the Director of Procurement, be authorized to advertise for bids as requested, and a copy of this report be sent to the interested parties.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Moving on to other communications, Mr. Chair, item number 1.
Receive, file, and County Council will be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 3, and that will be the order.
Item number 4, all districts.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 5, 6th District.
Receive and file, and the deposit agreement as approved as recommended. Be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 6.
Receive, file, and the County Council will be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order.
Item number 7, 2nd District.
Receive, file, and change of owner be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8, 7th District.
Receive, file, and the subdivision plot be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 9.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through number 10, and that will be the order.
Item number 11, 6th District.
Receive, file, and approve a contract in the amount not to exceed $2,862,164 with KCI Construction Company, the lowest responsive bidder, as requested, and further approve the request for authorization for revisions to the existing traffic control devices as necessary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 12.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order.
Item number 13, 6th District.
Receive, file, the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 14, 2nd, 4th, and 7th Districts.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order.
Item number 15, 7th District.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 16.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 18, and that will be the order. Report of the county executive.
I have nothing further to add this evening.
No reports of special committees this evening. We'll move to public forum.
We have 2 speakers this evening, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, 3 speakers.
Please proceed to the dais when your name is called. We'll allow everyone to speak for 3 minutes.
First speaker this evening will be Greg Porter.
Good evening, council members. My name is Greg Porter, 6 Crookham Court, Florissant, Missouri, unincorporated, North St. Louis County. I'm chairman of the North St. Louis County Problem Solving Committee and president secretary of the Paddock Forest Residents Association, Incorporated. First, I'd like to congratulate and welcome our 2 new council members, Rochelle Walton Gray and also Ernie Tracus of the representing the 4th and 6th districts, respectively. Now that we have a new council chair and vice chair in place, I hope and I also implore that the council chair and vice chair refrain from implementing the 1-minute or 2-minute time limitation when there's a large number of speakers. I understand that there's 30 minutes allocated to public forum, but most of the time the meetings are concluded well within an hour. So that I think that you should have respect and consideration for your constituents and allow more time for public speaking, especially when there's a controversial bill on the agenda. With respect to controversial bills such as the now moot 21 Bauer apartment complex, I encourage each council member to seriously consider every proposed development or project in any council district as if it were in your own council district. Think about it in terms of what is good for the entire county as opposed to voting for it because it does not affect your area. An excellent example to follow is the city of Florissant. A proposal in one of the 9 wards is also of concern and scrutiny by every other council member because it affects the entire city, and that should be the case also in St. Louis County. I ask that you give serious consideration to my comments and suggestions. I know that what I have suggested will be the case in the 6th district represented by Ernie Tracus, and I hope that the rest of you follow his lead. And I also want to commend council members Irby, Wassinger, and Harder for their vote in opposition to the 21 Bauer. Thank you.
Next speaker is Tom Sullivan.
Mr. Chairman and members of the council, the campaign promise made by County Executive Steve Stinger when running for county executive was to immediately require a, quote, top-to-bottom forensic audit of the entire county government and within the first 100 days after he became county executive. The implication was that there would be all kinds of waste and possible wrongdoing, similar to the $3.4 million that was embezzled by a county health department official a few years before. The audit was referred to as Mr. Stinger's centerpiece or signature campaign promise. But it is not a top-to-bottom audit, it is not a forensic audit, and it is still not completed, though the county executive has now been in office for 2 years. What the audit has been is a fiasco, with the cost ballooning to more than $200,000. The initial RFP was issued on March 12, 2015, but withdrawn on April 13, 2015. The county auditor handled the first RFP, which was improper as he answers to the council, and then the county budget director, who has no auditing experience, issued the second RFP. The contract was eventually given to the accounting firm of Brown Smith Wallace at a cost not to exceed $140,000. Though Mr. Stingers talked about the audit being completed by summer of 2015, the date was pushed back to October 31st, and finally, on December 30th, 2015, the audit results were released. Among the findings were there would be $10.9 million in duplicate payments, possible direct deposit to employees with multiple employee IDs, unexpected payments to terminated employees, many potential conflicts of interest between employees and vendors, spending patterns that could indicate fraudulent vendor charges, et cetera, et cetera. The audit raised more questions than it answered. Then it was found there was still a lot more to do, and it was to be done by county employees with the outside auditors coming back at a later date. On May 20th, 2016, another contract was let to Brown Smith Wallace for further work on the audit at an amount not to exceed $50,000. The contract was not approved by the county council as the county charter requires. It was approved by County Councilor Peter Crane, which was completely improper. On August 15th, 2016, another contract was signed with Brown Smith Wallace by Mr. Crane for even further work on the audit at an amount not to exceed $24,000. According to an August 8th, 2016 letter from a Brown partner, the additional amount was needed as the county had not done the work it was expected to do. The total cost is now up to $214,000, and there is no telling what the audit will eventually cost or when it will be done. This should clearly be a matter of concern for this council. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Tom.
Final speaker this evening is Mike McDermott.
Hello, members of the council. Happy New Year. My name is Mike McDermott, as previously stated, and I currently live with my wife and my family out in Fenton. But tonight, I am here to plead with the council to not change the trash haulers and to raise their trash bill. As you see, my parents, they both live on fixed income, and they live in one of the districts that could be possibly affected by this vote that could change. And even the smallest amount that could change, that could have an effect on their wallet. The service that Allied Republic Services provides to them is impeccable. The drivers are always safe and courteous to them, and then whenever she calls customer service, she always has a pleasant experience. One note, though, is that my father can barely walk due to serious knee issues, so it's up to my mother or myself to carry or move any large objects that need to be moved around their house. There was a day that my mother forgot to put her trash out, and the driver knew of both of their issues and knew that they had always had their trash out, so he took the time to go up to their house and to get her trash cans and empty it for them and put it back. Also, within a mile of where my parents live, my uncle also previously had lived there, which is where my father had grown up, and my uncle had passed away in July, and over time we've been trying to clean out his house. Well, there's been days that my cousins and I have been there, and the trash driver has helped us empty trash out for them. So it's another sign of excellent service that they've been able to give to us. So in closing here, that I'm just pleading with you not to change any sort of haulers or just to raise their bill to take any sort of effect on the fixed income that my parents have or anyone else in that area who, there are many elderly who also live on fixed incomes within these districts. Thank you.
Thank you.
No more speakers, Mr. Chair.
Perfection.
Introduction of the bill.
Oh, introduction bill, thank you.
Bill number 1, introduced by Councilmember Page, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Vernon Jones Construction for pavement construction in connection with the 1050 North Lindbergh Boulevard Campus Pavement Rehabilitation Project. Bill number 2, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Meek Climate Services, LLC, to provide a nitric acid fume hood at the health campus in Berkeley. Bill number 3, introduced by Councilmember
That'll be mine.
Page, an ordinance approving acceptance of donation of $1,500 from Royal Bank of Missouri and appropriating same for purchase of new coats for students in 4 school districts. Bill number 4, introduced by Councilmembers Dolan, Tracus, and Harder, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Fry & Associates Incorporated for installation of rubberized playground surfacing in 3 county parks and replacement of a retaining wall at the Tillis Park Playground. Bill number 5, introduced by Councilmember Page, an ordinance approving acceptance of donation of $2,000 from Missouri Police Chiefs Charitable Foundation, appropriating same for support of the DARE unit. Bill number 6, introduced by Councilmember Page, an ordinance amending ordinance number 25,296 by repealing and reenacting sections 1 and 2 pertaining to a contract and renewals with Diamond Drugs Incorporated for pharmacy services to the Department of Public Health at the Buzz Westfall Justice Center. Mr. Chair, that is all the bills.
Perfection.
Bill number 327, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to perfect Bill number 327.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 327 is perfected.
Bill number 328, introduced by Councilmembers Erby, Page, Wassinger, O'Meara, Dolan, O'Leary, and Harder.
I move for perfection of Bill number 328.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 328 is perfected.
Bill number 329, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to perfect Bill number 329.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 329 is perfected.
Bill number 330, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to perfect Bill number 330.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 330 is perfected.
Bill number 331, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Move to perfect Bill number 331.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 331 is perfected.
Bill number 332, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move to perfect Bill number 332.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 332 is perfected.
Bill number 333, introduced by Councilmember Page.
Move to perfect Bill number 333.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 333 is perfected. Final passage.
Bill number 116, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Please hold Bill number 116.
Bill number 116 is held.
Bill number 307, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I move to hold Bill number 307.
Bill number 307 is held.
Bill number 322, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Move for final passage of Bill number 322.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
Aye.
Councilmember Page.
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 322, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 322 is finally passed.
Bill number 323, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
I move for final passage of Bill number 323.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
Aye.
Councilmember Page.
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 323, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 323 is finally passed.
Bill number 324, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Move for final passage of Bill number 324.
Second.
Roll call.
Chairman.
Councilmember Erby.
Yes.
Point of order on that, since Councilman O'Meara is no longer here, does that need to be amended?
The introduction has always been something that we have not amended.
There doesn't have to be an amendment for the matter to be finally passed or considered for final passage.
Okay.
So by having his name on it, it's not gonna
No.
have any issues with
It
this?
just recognizes that Mr. O'Meara was the one who introduced the bill at the time of introduction.
Okay.
I think that's consistent with what we've done in the past.
Say something the other one we did.
Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
Aye.
Councilmember Page.
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray. Councilmember Dolan.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 324, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 324 is finally passed.
Bill number 325, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Move for final passage of Bill number 325.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby.
Aye.
Councilmember Page.
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Yes.
Councilmember Dolan.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 325, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 325 is finally passed.
Bill number 326, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I move for final passage of Bill number 326.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on bill number 326, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 326 is finally passed.
We have no resolutions this evening, Mr. Chair, so we'll move to unfinished business. Under unfinished business, item number 1, 4th District.
Receive, file, and the county council is directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
And moving on to new business, this evening, Mr. Chair, we have 5 prepared orders.
I move for adoption of orders number 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Orders number 1 and 2 are approved. Order number 3 is also non-controversial. You can just,
Okay. I move for adoption of order number 3.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Order number 3 is approved or adopted.
I move for adoption of order number 4 and 5.
Second. That's his district. He's worried about it.
Okay, second.
Before I call the vote on this, I will just recognize that I asked the trash contracts to be held up before we awarded them to Allied Waste, also known as Republic, out of concern from the constituents in my district that Republic has not managed the situation surrounding the landfill through their relationships and interactions with DNR, Attorney General's Office, and EPA in a way that is consistent with state and federal law. If that were accurate, then they would not be eligible to compete for our bids. What we've determined through our investigation is that Republic's interactions with DNR and EPA and Attorney General, although not examples of good corporate citizenship, certainly do not prevent them from competing and being awarded this bid. So with that, would ask all in favor for adoption of orders 3 and 4.
4 and 5.
4 and 5, thank you. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn. Excuse me, Councilman Harder, is there a order number 6 or is it just 4 and 5?
I did not see an order number 6. Is there an order number 6?
Just 5.
Just
Okay.
5.
Just 5, okay. Motion
Move we
to,
adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourned.